What? You were expecting something witty from me here? Like the Ducks, I'm putting no effort into this. Roll the entrance. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Are you serious, Ducks? That's what you're gonna do? That's what you're gonna do for the 5th straight season. You're gonna blow a Game 6 on the road, come back to Anaheim, and get your asses handed to again for the 5th straight year. Are you telling me for the 5th straight year now, you have learned nothing? Absolutely nothing about taking care of business in Game 6 to avoid this situation. How in the hell do you even let this happen? I mean, 7-1. 7-1. I mean, honestly, where the hell do I even start with this pile of crap we called Game 6? The Ducks started this game in the absolutely worst possible way imaginable. They gave up 5 fucking goals in the first period. Draisaitl had 2 of them. He scored the first 2. Letestu scored 2 more. 2 guys in 1 period are 1 goal away from a hat trick. And John Gibson, man, I love you, Gibby, but what the hell were those first 3 goals? The first one I kind of understand. It was a little bit of a change up. Draisaitl just whiffed on it, and the momentum just carried it right through your 5-hole. Close your legs. You're not Jonas Hiller. But the other 2 goals, what the hell, Gibby? 3 goals through the 5-hole before the first half of the first period is over? You've got to be kidding me. The second Gibby gets pulled for Bernie, I'm laughing. At this point, I'm like, you know what? They're either going to get their asses handed to like 9 or 10-1, or they're going to mount a comeback. Well, one of those did actually happen. So, seriously though, you would think after Gibby gets pulled that the Ducks would actually pull their heads out of their asses and start playing some solid hockey. Or actually at least show up to the game. Because I'm pretty sure they did not even show up. They just grabbed a beer league team from one of the local stadiums. They're like, hey, here, you guys want to play in an NHL playoff game? Edmonton looked like the far superior team compared to the Ducks. I don't know if the Ducks were hungover from Game 5. I saw Carlisle stated that they were still on an emotional high from Game 5 and didn't have the energy for Game 6. You don't say! Please, Randy, state the obvious a little more. I'm not sure we all got it the first go-around. So like I stated, we had 2 Oilers with 2 goals in the first period with Draisaitl and Letestu. Draisaitl ended up getting his 3rd and got the hat trick in the 2nd period. Now at this point, you gotta find ways to keep yourself entertained. And just for shits and giggles, I wanted to see Letestu get his and actually see if any hats got thrown onto the ice. Because that would mean there's some fake-ass fans who didn't bother to do it for Draisaitl's goal. So they're like, oh, well, okay, I guess the second guy deserves his hat now. Now, I watched every second of Game 6. I didn't turn off that TV. Maybe because I'm an idiot. Maybe because I'm a diehard fan. Or maybe because I love the pain. And the best part, I mean, like, honestly, at this point, I'm just trying to find anything to laugh at to bring me some sort of joy. Because I'm, like, it's 7-1 for most of the entire second half of the game. I'm numb. I've lost interest. Let's be real here. It's hard for anyone to actually stay positive and keep interest in there. You got to do what you got to do. So I'm just hoping, at this point, embarrass us. Let us get throttled 15-1. Let it be meaningful at least. Give me something to watch. But yet, even being up 7-1, Oilers fans are still bitching. The Oilers fans are still bitching that the refs are on the Ducks' side. That there's some huge conspiracy to get the Ducks onto the next round for ratings. As if Southern California is a giant hotbed for hockey ratings. So which is it, Oilers fans? You bitch and chirp that the Ducks have no fans and no fan base, yet you say the NHL wants Anaheim to advance for the ratings. Does not compute. Why can't you guys be like Leafs fans? This is why I love the Leafs. Both of you guys have been god-awful for the better part of a decade. Oilers a little bit more so than the Leafs, obviously. Both teams get into the playoffs for the first time in so long. The Leafs and their fans are stoked to be there. Leafs fans don't chirp. They don't talk shit. They're not bitching and moaning about the refs. You gotta earn your stripes. Edmonton fans, they make the playoffs for the first time in a decade and they want a cup right away. They feel entitled to a cup right away. You're bitching and moaning about the refs? You've had 25 power plays in this series. The Ducks have only had 20. You're 7 for 25. We're 3 for 20. And you're still bitching? Holy hell, you are one delusional and entitled fan base. You guys need to earn your stripes. This is your first playoff appearance in a decade. You have no room to start bitching and moaning. Especially when there's nothing to bitch and moan about. The refs are not against you. There's not some giant conspiracy. You guys have more power plays. You guys are getting the bounces. There's been calls on both sides that have gone the other way. That's hockey. It happens. All right, so where do we go from here? What the hell happened in Game 6? The Ducks didn't show up. They put up no effort whatsoever. The defense was god-awful, if you can call it defense. A lot of things need to change going into Game 7. The number one priority in this series against Edmonton, stay out of the box. And how did the Ducks respond to that? 7 penalties. There were 7 penalties in Game 6 for the Ducks. Of course you're not going to win that game. And so many defensive breakdowns from everyone. There's not one single defenseman out there that did their job all night long. Every single one of them had a FU moment at one point in the game. And let's not forget about John Gibson. Gibby let in 2 or 3 of the softest goals I've seen in a while. I mean, what the hell? So honestly, I mean, obviously everybody's to blame. Carlisle's to blame. The players are to blame. Everything. You can blame the injuries if you want, which I don't. Injuries happen. Both sides had injuries. Clefbaum was a scratch right at the end of warm-up, so, I mean, you can't complain about that. You got to play with the hand you're dealt and go from there. So what are the big changes that need to be made going into Game 7? Game 7 is going to rely solely on our defense and our goaltending. One number should stand out to Gibby and our defense. 0. 0 goals given up in Game 7. Don't give up a goal. Don't worry about losing. Take care of business, and we will win. We will advance to the next round. And believe me, I truly hope the media stays away from the Ducks players because I don't want to hear shit from their mouths right now. It's going to be the same bullshit stories from the past 4 years. We know what to do. We got to step up. We got to come out there hungry. We got to capitalize early. We can't let our emotions get the best of us. Bullshit! Actions speak louder than words, Ducks. Get it done on the ice, and then I will actually believe you. And here's a little bit of Ducks trivia for you folks. How many times have the Ducks actually won a series in 6 or 7 games since their cup year 10 years ago? You want to take a wild guess? 2. They took down the Dallas Stars in 2014 in 6 on a huge miracle comeback, and then in 2009 they took down the Sharks in 6. So I'm not really that confident in our chances. So the Ducks either sweep or win in 5 or get their asses handed to later in the series. That really puts a lot of confidence in me going into Game 7. The best part though, are the super fans. The fans that are all high and mighty and criticize anybody who posts even something remotely negative about the team for talking shit during Game 6, for giving up on the game. Oh, but they scored 3 in 3:16 in Game 5. Screw that. If we want to rant, we'll rant. If we want to call out the Ducks, we'll call them out. Don't worry about how other people handled their frustrations. I like to vent. I like to rant. Just because I'm not kissing the Ducks' asses and being all high and mighty happy about it and optimistic about their chances doesn't make me less of a fan. Doesn't make any of you that do the same less than a fan. So if you see somebody being a super fan out there, tell them to shove it. Honestly, who cares? We don't have to be validated by anything on social media or message boards. I know damn well how much I love this team and how much anger and pain it truly brings me to see the Ducks on the cusp of having 5 straight seasons with a home Game 7 loss. I'm not doing this just for shits and giggles. I'm pissed. I know damn well the Ducks are much better than what they're showing out there. That's what frustrates me the most. This team is capable of so much more, yet for whatever reason they can't get over this hurdle. At this point, I don't know who's worse. Ducks fans pulling out the superfan card, or Oilers fans with a constant bitching and moaning about the non-calls. It's honestly a toss-up at this point. And listen, I know there are good Oilers fans out there. Not all of them are bitching and moaning about the refs. I get that, alright? Just relax. Now for the top stars of the game. Rickard Rakell for the Ducks, number 3, getting the only goal, and he was the only one out there looking like he gave a fuck. Second star of the game, Letestu. I think he got 3 or 4 points, including 2 goals. And then Draisaitl, of course, with the hat trick. I mean, how can you not give him the credit? He played a phenomenal game. He's played a phenomenal series. Damn, I really want him as a Duck. But anyway, those are your 3 stars. So what are my predictions for Game 7? Pain! I obviously want the Ducks to win. Duh. Will they do it, though? For the 5th time, will they have finally learned? I don't know. As my friend Jake Rudolph stated earlier today, the Ducks have not been dominated in a Game 6 this bad. So maybe, they got the crap out of the way in Game 6, and they'll come out in Game 7 strong and humble after that destruction of a Game 6. Like I said, though, the key to Game 7 for the Ducks winning, John Gibson and our defense. If we hold them to no goals, 1 goal, I am very confident we can score on Cam Talbot. He is not that good. Goals can be scored against him, and we have the offense to do it. So please, Ducks, for the first time all season long, 60 full minutes. Please. We need a full 60-minute effort from you guys if we have a snowball's chance in hell of winning this game. All right, so that's it for me here. I've ranted enough. Well, probably not enough, but I'm just going to cut it off here, else I can go all night. All right, so I want to hear what you guys think. So go ahead and leave a comment down below on what your thoughts for Game 6 were and what you expect going into Game 7. Go ahead and like the video and subscribe. And be on the lookout for my Game 7 recap. It's either going to be a jump for joy or a really bad obituary. That should be out on Thursday. Please, Ducks, prove me wrong. Go out in Game 7 and dominate. Take what is yours and win this series at home and end this damn curse.